one, who in Elvish is called Iluvatar, made the Ainur from his thought, and they were the offspring of his mind. He spoke to them, propounding to them themes of music, and they sang before him, and he was glad. For a long while they sang only each alone, or but few together, while the rest listened, for each comprehended only that part of the mind of Iluvatar from which they came, and in the understanding of their brethren they grew but slowly. Yet ever as they listened, they came to deeper understanding, and increased in unison and harmony. Then Iluvatar called them together and said, I will now make a great music, and behold, a new theme has been given to you, and in the midst of this theme I shall dwell. And the music of the Ainur began to take shape. The sound was deep and wide, and beautiful beyond measure. The voices of the Ainur filled the vast halls of Eru, and the cosmos trembled at their might. Yet among them was Melkor, the mightiest of the Ainur, and in his heart he began to weave his own discord into the music. The harmony was broken, and dissonance filled the music. But Iluvatar raised his hand, and a new theme began, deeper and more powerful than the first. The Ainur were amazed, but Melkor's discord grew louder still, trying to drown the beauty of the new theme. For a third time, Iluvatar raised his hand, and the music ceased. The Ainur stood in silence, for the sound of the world had been revealed. Iluvatar spoke. Mighty are the Ainur, and greatest among them is Melkor. But he shall see that no theme may be played that does not have its uttermost source in me. Then Iluvatar arose from his throne, extended his hand, and before the Ainur appeared a vision, greater than anything they had ever conceived. The Ainur gazed in wonder, for they beheld in the depths of the void a new world, Arda, Middle-earth, bathed in the light of the stars. After the great music, the Ainur beheld Arda, the world born from their song, and many of them, the most powerful, descended to shape it. Manwë, Lord of the Winds and leader of the Valar, was the first to descend. Beside him was Varda, Queen of the Stars, whose power would bring light to the vast lands of Arda. With them also descended Aule, the forger of mountains, Yavanna, who makes green life bloom, and Ulmo, Lord of the waters. Not only did the Valar descend to Arda, but also the Maiar, lesser spirits who would aid in the creation of the world. But among them was also Melkor, the most powerful of the Ainur, desiring to dominate Arda for himself. With him descended Maiar, who would later be corrupted and become fearsome creatures such as the Balrogs, and even Sauron, who had once been a Maiar of Aule, but now followed the darkness of Melkor. Wherever the Valar shaped the land, Melkor would undo it. The mountains that Aule raised, he would tear down. The forests of Yavanna were set ablaze by his malice, and the seas of Ulmo froze under his dark shadow. But the Valar resisted. Manwë raised the winds to combat the storms. Varda lit up the darkness with the stars. Yavanna restored the destroyed forests, and Ulmo calmed the raging waters. Together, they remade the world after each blow from Melkor, bringing order and beauty. Then Tulkas arrived, the strongest of the Valar. With his resounding laughter, he descended to confront Melkor. His strength shook the earth, and Melkor, for the first time, knew fear. Tulkas forced him to retreat, and Melkor fled, hiding in the shadows, while his darkness faded. Before the light of the Valar, with Melkor in retreat, the Valar continued their work. Under the starlight, they shaped the seas, mountains, and valleys, preparing the world for the coming of the children of Ilúvatar. But although Melkor had hidden himself, he had not been defeated. In the depths, his evil continued to grow, waiting for the moment to return. In the shadows, Melkor plotted his revenge. His hatred for the light and for the Valar had grown since his imprisonment. Though he had been released, he never ceased to desire dominion and the destruction of all that was beautiful. And now he sought allies in his darkness. Melkor traveled south, beyond the lands of Aman, to Lamath, where Ungoliant dwelt, an ancient and dark being in the form of a giant spider. Ungoliant had grown in the outer voids, devouring light and weaving shadows. Together, Melkor and Ungoliant devised the plan that would bring darkness upon Valinor. Valinor shone under the light of the two trees. Telperion illuminated Valinor with its silver light, and as its light faded, Laurelin began to shine with its golden light. The Valar, the powers of Arda, ruled in peace, and the entire realm was bathed in their sacred light. During a great celebration in Valinor, when the Valar and the Elves were gathered on the heights of Tanikitil, the sacred mountain, Melkor and Ungoliant secretly crept toward the two trees. While Ungoliant wove shadows around them to hide their presence, Melkor drew his spear and struck. With great hatred, he wounded Telperion and Laurelin at their roots, and Ungoliant absorbed their luminous sap. The two trees began to wither, and the light of Valinor faded. Telperion and Laurelin died, and with them, the light that illuminated the world. A deep darkness fell over Valinor. The Valar and the Elves stood in shock and grief, for they had never imagined that such a terrible thing could happen. After his treachery, Melkor and Ungoliant fled north through the shadowy mountains and the Elkaraxi, the icy pass that separated Aman from Middle-earth. But before reaching their destination, Melkor had another betrayal in mind. In Formenos, the stronghold of Feanor, lay the three Silmarils, the most precious jewels, which still contained the light of the trees. Morgoth, in his cruelty, sent the Easterlings who had served him to Hithlum, but denied them the lands they longed for.
You have served well, but do not expect the fertile lands you covet.
Lord of Darkness, did you not promise us rewards? We fought and betrayed Maedhros in your name.
And I permit you to live. Hithlum shall be your home. Go there and take what you find.
But that land is cold, inhospitable.
Do you question the will of Morgoth? Take Hithlum, and with it the remnants of the House of Hydor. Begone!
The triumph of Morgoth was absolute, but his true victory was not measured in the blood spilled, but in the cracks he opened among the free peoples. Men raised their weapons against other men and betrayed the Eldar on the battlefield. Fear spread like a shadow, and hatred took root where once there had been hope. From that day, the Elves withdrew. Distrust divided the peoples, and only the three houses of the Edain maintained their bond with the Eldar. The remaining Eldar of Hithlum were taken to the northern mines, their hands bound, and their spirits broken. There, beneath the shadow of the mountains, they labored endlessly as slaves, chipping away at the cold stone under the watchful eyes of orcs. Doriath remained untouched, shielded by its enchantments, and Nargothrond lay hidden in the shadows. Yet Morgoth scarcely turned his gaze toward them, whether out of ignorance or because their downfall had not yet been woven into the dark threads of his malice. Many fled to the havens, seeking refuge behind the walls of Círdan. From there, mariners sailed along the coast, harassing the enemy with swift raids.
Winter falls, ravage the coasts, and break their walls.
Morgoth sent his wrath to the south. Great forces descended along the rivers, bringing fire and destruction to the coasts. With them marched blacksmiths, miners, and fireforgers, who raised great machines to besiege the walls that had stood for generations. Rithumbar and Eglarest would not fall by the strength of arms, but by the weight of iron and the fury of flame. The grass grew again, green and tall, the only one in the wasteland forged by Morgoth's malice. And no creature of Morgoth ever trod upon that ground, where the swords of the Eldar and the Edain slowly crumbled into rust.
Your pride will not save you. I know of your ties to Turgon. Where does Gondolin lie hidden? Speak, and perhaps I shall grant you a swift death.
Even if I knew where it stands, I would never betray my king. Your shadows will never reach the peaks where the light still shines.
Then there shall be no death for you, Orin. I curse you, Orin, and all your descendants. Your lives shall be darkness and pain. Sit here and watch as evil and despair befall those you love. You dared to defy me and question the power of Melkor, Lord of Ardor.
In the depths of the void, young men are deployed, out where the stars never gleam. We make our last stand with bolters in hand, drunk on our enemy's screams. As the stars all burn cold and the warmth grows so wide, onward we carry his will. We sail ever on through the cosmic tide, humanity's quest we fulfill. On the field of destruction we sow and we reap, all through our blood and our steel. We march ever forward, a promise we keep, only to one shall we kneel. For the Emperor's will, the Imperium scream, hammers of justice ring out through their screens, with bolters of power and chainsword and flame, all in God Emperor's name. Purge every heretic, cleanse them in flame, battered and broken we stand. Battle brothers are we, all one in the same, bound by the word of one man. Let the guns of war ring, or the battle drums beat, our debt is our lives that we owe. From the might of our warships, the strength of our fleet, let justice be rained down below. For the Emperor's will, the Imperium stream, hammers of justice ring out through their screens, with bolters of power and chainsword and flame, all in God Emperor's name. There's no shoulder to shoulder we stand, righteous in noble crusade. No treacherous plague shall fall on these lands. Remember the pact that we've made. For the Emperor's will, the Imperium scream, hammers of justice ring out through their screens, with bolters of power and chainsword and flame, all in God Emperor's name. For terror, for glory, for all that we've sworn, our destinies planted, our enemies scorned. Purge every heretic, cleanse them in flame, all in God Emperor's name.
Horns call from Edoras, the hooves thunder on the plain. The riders of the mark to war we ride. For glory, for honor, for the white horse of Rohan. Howls over golden fields, banners rise as fate is sealed. Steel in hand we ride as one, sons of the mark, our time has come.
Swords will clash and shields will break. Thunder roars as earth will shake. No retreat, no turning back. Death and glory on the track. Light, warriors bold. Fear no darkness, hearts of gold. For the king, for the land. Death will tremble by our hand. Light, warriors bold. Fear no darkness, hearts of gold. For the king, for the land. Death will tremble by our hand. Charge like storm upon the field. No shadow stands, no foe is shielded. Through fire, through the night, we bring vengeance, we bring light. Warriors sound, the call is clear. None shall falter, none shall fear. Brothers sworn in battle's cry. For the white horse, do or die. Ride, warriors bold. Fear no darkness, hearts of gold. For the king, for the land. Death will tremble by our hand. From Helm's Deep to Pelinor's ground, the songs of our fathers still resound. In fire and blood our fate is made, to ride in glory or in grave. Warriors bold, fear no darkness, hearts of gold. For the king, for the land, death will tremble by our hand. Hail the crown, Roman rise, the dark falls down. The wind carries the echoes of war. But the song of Rohan shall fade nevermore. This unbroken, unmatched by design. The first line of the fence, the unbreakable line. We answer the pally with mortars and guns. The astronomer terror bows only to one. Till the skies turn to ash and the cities are dust. We fight for the golden king in whom we trust. With six made of steel and hands made of stone. With the sword of mankind and the fist of the throne. For the God, we all stand as one. With flagstones held high, till the battle is won. For the God, march on till we fall. The empire was next, and so must we all. No matter the risk, with bastards command to call lances and first. Sending back chaos to where it came from. We strike down rebellion and treacherous scum. We'll crush the rabble and the tyrannous swarm. They waste to the necrons with bullets we storm. From creed back to Key, they fear on me. The imperial flag, humanity's flame. For the God, we all stand as one. With guns held high till the battle is won. For the God, march on till we fall. The Emperor protects, and so must we all. Guns held high till the battle is won. For the God, march on till we fall. The Emperor protects, and so must we all. With a shield, with a spear, the Imperium sword, we'll never show fear in his holy war. For the God, will answer the call. The Emperor protects, and so must we all. Brothers in arms now, on your shoulders you pull all humanity forward till your time is paid in full. They're humanity's finest, young Imperium slain. Show them all where the line is now until the day is white. Hold your head up now, soldier, till your role's fulfilled. Keep our enemy back no matter how much blood is spilled. Stand your post and keep your oath to those upon the throne of gold. Well, your brothers in arms now, on your shoulders you pull all humanity forward till your time is paid in full. Well, young Imperium son, hold the line with your life, young man, until your time is come. By the Emperor's grace you hold the torch in your hands. Of the light of our future, tell me, do you understand? By the sweat of your brow and by the steel in your hands, slay them all in the name of the Imperium of Man. Stand your post and keep your oath to those upon the throne of gold. Well, your brothers in arms now, on your shoulders you pull all humanity forward till your time is paid in full. Well, monsters, young Imperium son, hold the line with your life, young man, until your time is come. Stay diligent, soldier, for as long as you live. Just remember now, you are one of many lives you give. Now, on your shoulders you pull all humanity forward till your time is paid in full. Well, heretical monsters, young Imperium son, hold the line with your life, young man, until your time is come. Hold the line with your life, young man, until your time is come.
was human.